Ecosystem painting is a very cool tool in View 6, and what we can do is actually paint directly onto our objects and in our scene to create plants, rocks, objects, and all the different ecosystems separate from what's in the material editor. So I'm going to go ahead and just load in a standard terrain right now. Zoom out. And now all the painting actually has to be done within the top view. So make sure we're lined up in the top viewport. We're going to go up here to Paint Ecosystem. And just left-clicked on that. And now, right now, we get an X when we move the cursor over the top view because we cannot paint anything because we don't have anything in our ecosystem population. So we're going to click Add. And I'm going to select Plant right now, but we also have the ability to select rocks, objects, and pretty much create anything we want with an ecosystem by painting. And under plants, I'm just going to select the plum tree and click OK. So now we are painting the plum tree on our terrain. And we're set to single instance right now on the top for the tool. So every time we click, we are going to create a new plum tree. But if we set it to brush, then we can actually paint large portions of our object. And we can come over here and paint a little on the side. And keep in mind, this also paints on everything if you want it to. Right now it's set to a bit of everything. But if we set it to only selected items, it will only paint on our actual item that is selected. Also restrict to selected objects for the display options. So depending on which settings you have set, it will affect the way you paint. Now let's also take a look at our display options up at the top, where we can set full quality near camera. And as you can see, as I check that on, our main camera view, we have full quality plants near the camera, which we can also set this radius to how far away we actually want to be able to see these plants. And then of course, what the other plants are. The ones that are far away from the camera, do we want them to be, right now they're billboard, they're just instances, or we can make those smooth shaded, so full quality, and then also flat shaded, wireframe, filled box, wireframe box, and then of course billboard, and then even none. So it's a pretty neat viewing tool we have in here. We can also adjust our brush radius, brush flow, and scale. And if you're using a tablet, like a Wacom tablet, you can select to drive with pressure. So the more you press down on the tip of your pen onto the tablet, you can either increase the flow, the scale, or the radius. And if you are using a Wacom tablet, to make sure that you have the Wacom control panel open in order for this to work, because otherwise it will not. We can also adjust the color. I can make some orange looking trees if I wanted to, and sort of brush them in. And then their color will be affected by whatever color I have set here. We can also set this to an airbrush style, even going and set an eraser, so we can erase all the instances we've created already that we don't want. And we can even adjust the coloring scaling with a brush. So if I wanted to paint directly on some of these plants to make them a specific color, or adjust the scaling of those plants, we can also do that with this brush. So it's very cool what we can do with the ecosystem painting within View 6. And like I said, we can paint off on anywhere the objects, any one of them at all, or we can just restrict them to specific objects we have selected.